Hi everybody, and welcome to a new video. So this week I finally had a chance to sit down, and you probably noticed in a previous video where I did the motor replacement, but it didn't work because all the motors were all spinning in the same direction. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unsolder the wires and then solder them in reverse, which a few of the other subscribers had said should work. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So what I'm basically going to do, guys, is we're going to take the blue and just switch it over to the red, and the red over to the blue, and that's it. And then I've already got the copter all taken apart and the motors all taken apart, so you guys don't have to worry about that. So without further ado, let's start and see how this works. Alright guys, so as you can see here, I've got the two red and blue motors, and I've got all the other motors already taken out of the copter. I've got my soldering iron. I actually bought a new soldering iron. The old one was just a little bit too thick of a tip, so I wanted something a little bit smaller that I could work with better. And of course I've got the tools I'm going to be using here, just some needle nose so I can hold the motors while I'm pulling the actual wires off here. So let's cross our fingers, guys, and hope this works. So I'm going to test out the soldering iron here in just a second, just to see if it is warm yet or not. And I bought some new solder over at the hobby store. It's just a smaller solder. The other stuff was a little thick, so I wanted to use something smaller. And I couldn't find the hobby store for some reason didn't have a solder remover, so couldn't get one of those, unfortunately, so have to make do with what I have on hand here. So anyway, I'm gonna check the soldering iron to make sure that it's getting nice and warm here. So give me a minute, guys, and as soon as it's warmed up, I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright, so it looks like my soldering iron is nice and warm here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I should have one of those tool things that holds the motor for me, but I don't have one of those, so I'm just gonna go ahead and hopefully I don't burn myself here, and try and put this in focus so you guys can actually see what the heck I am doing here. All I'm doing is just going to hold the motor, let it warm off the solder a little bit here, and as the solder gets warm, then what I'll do is I will go ahead and remove the wire, and then hopefully I can get it to go back onto the other side. Alright, so guys, I'm gonna give me a few minutes here to work with this. It's kind of difficult to record at the same time, so hold on and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm done soldering, so you can see I went ahead and just basically just desoldered the wire on the one side and just flipped it over. So when you do this, you might want to put like maybe a marker on one side just so you know what color's what. So just basically, again, I know you can't tell, but I desoldered it and then resoldered it, and that's basically all I did. So next step, what I'm going to do, guys, is so you got to find the two motors. So you'll notice that the difference on the top of the motors. The upgraded ones are like a bluish color, and the old ones are like a green color at the top. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and remove the motors. So hold on one second, guys. I'm going to unplug my soldering iron so it can cool down so it doesn't burn anything. So be right back. Okay, so next step is I'm going to take the two motors off that are the originals. And I'm going to take this guy and just put him right in his spot. These screws are really teeny tiny, so here we go. There's one, and then there's the other motor. It's going to do the same exact thing. So what should happen in theory now is that I've reversed the polarity of those other motors. So the blue and red ones, if you guys didn't watch my previous video, you might want to go back and watch it. So, as I stated in the previous video, that the red and blue ones are supposed to be the counterclockwise normally on the SEMA board, but the Promark, they all spin the same way. So by reversing the polarity of the wires, in theory, again, we'll see if it actually works or not, but in theory what should happen is, now that I've reversed the polarity of the wires, they should spin the opposite direction. So instead of spinning counterclockwise, they should all spin the same way, and then when the board kicks on, it should tell them which direction that they're supposed to go. So what I'm still going to do though is, so when I put everything back together, I'm still going to put the blue and the red ones on the counterclockwise side, and I'm still going to put the red and black ones on the clockwise side, just so I know which ones are which. It doesn't really matter because, again, they all are spinning the same direction now. I'm not going to put you guys through waiting for me to put everything back together here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video here, guys, for just a few minutes. And then what I'm going to do is put the copter back together. I'm going to test the motors just to make sure they're all spinning the same way that I want them to spin. And I will be right back, guys. Alright, guys, so I've got pretty much everything back together. I've got the battery hooked up to the drone here. I don't have the props on or anything like that. I just want to see if the motors are spinning the correct way that they're supposed to spin. So in theory, again, if you reverse the polarity on the wires, then the motor should spin in the opposite direction. So got the copter bound, got everything bound up. So I'm going to hit the one button takeoff button, and let's cross our fingers and hope it works, guys. All right, well, successful. As you can kind of see, I was going around just to feel which way the motors were turning, and looks like we are successful. So awesome, so that worked. So I'm going to pause for just a few minutes here, guys. I'm going to finish tightening everything, putting it all back together, and then I'll be right back and we'll finish this off. Hi everybody. Okay, everything's back, tightened up, got the propellers on and everything. So I had just enough juice to get the drone up in the air for just about 20 seconds there before the lights started flashing on me. But I am happy to report a successful flight. So that's awesome. I'm really, really, really happy. You know, I just kind of felt like the project wasn't complete until I absolutely did everything possible to those particular motors to know that they spun in the right direction. So they did, and again, I'm really super excited about that. So if you guys want to do the motor upgrade or change out a motor, so what you got to make sure to do, again, is so they all go in the same direction. So the red and black ones, those are your clockwise ones. The other ones that you're going to get, the blue and the red ones, those are counterclockwise. So all I did basically was just unsolder the red side, put it on the blue side, and the blue on the red side. So basically just flip the wires, solder them back on, plugged everything back in. I still did put the red and blue on the counterclockwise side, just so way I could tell which motor was which ones. And that's just me. So, but they all turn in the same direction. But yeah, it worked. It was perfect. So if you guys want to do that same upgrade, we now know and have confirmed that it actually works. So thank you to all the people, the subscribers that put that suggestion in the comments for me, guys. I appreciate that. I don't have everybody's name, so I apologize for that. But thank you very much. Appreciate that. So guys, if you like this quick update, give me a thumbs up. And if you really enjoy my videos and the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And next to the subscribe button, hit the bell. If you hit the bell, that's going to let you guys know every week when I've got new videos for you to view. Typically, again, I upload every week on Thursdays, Fridays, and sometimes the weekends, you guys know, if I have extra time. And Mondays, we typically do a live stream. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget, if you guys can, donate to the Patreon page. That'll be at the end of the video there. I appreciate anybody that's able to donate to help me keep doing reviews, updates, better equipment, so that way I can keep doing better videos for you guys. And again, thank you for all the awesome subscribers, all the good comments. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all. So thanks again for tuning in, guys, and hope you're having a great week. And at the end, as always, guys, let's make sure to keep our drones up in the air and flying high. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week.